Hi there, welcome to this Mathscraft 2 Outcome 4 lecture on trigonometry. In this one, we're going to be looking at the cosine rule. So, the cosine rule, we use that when there are either two sides and the included angle, or all three sides. So we usually check for this rule first. Before we get into that, I'm going to show you how to use these two rules. Again, like the sine rule, there are two rules, one for finding a missing side and one for finding a missing angle. So this is the formula here for finding a missing side. So in this case, the side that we're trying to find is the A. Okay? So whatever A is, that's the missing side. And then what we've got is we've got the two sides, B and C, and then we've got the angle between them, angle A. So we've got B squared plus C squared minus, and then 2 times B times C times cos A. Okay, so you can see that we've got the two sides opposite, not the side that we're trying to find, and then the angle between them. Okay, now because it's all sorted together in this little corner, we can call that a cozy corner. It's quite a good way of remembering to use the cosine rule. Okay, so it is the two sides and the included angle. So let's look at a couple of examples. So again, let me write out the formula for you. So we've got a squared equals b squared plus c squared minus 2bc cos a. Now in this one, what we're trying to do is we're trying to find x. So x is going to be our a. So that's going to be x squared. Okay, now the b and the c are just going to be the other sides. It doesn't actually matter in this case which order we do them in. So it doesn't actually matter that they're not labelled. So I'm going to choose b to be 11. So that's going to be 11 squared plus c squared. So that's plus 14 squared. And then minus 2 times b, which is 11, times c, which is 14, and then times cos of the angle opposite what we're trying to find, or between the two sides that are given. So in this case, cos 32. And we need to work out all that together. Okay, so in my calculator, I'm going to do the first part. So 11 squared plus 14 squared. And then minus 2 times 11 times 14 times by cos 32. And I get an answer of 55.801. Now, that doesn't look right at the moment. That's clearly too big. But as you can see here, this is x squared. Okay, so the rule is squared. So what we need to do, a bit like we do when we do Pythagoras, is we have to square root our answer. So we have to square root that to find out the actual value of x. So if I then square root my answer, 2 decimal places, I get 7.47. It doesn't actually say centimetres or anything, so we can just leave it like that. So that is the answer for x. So let us do one more example like that. In this one, we're trying to find a. So let me write out the rule again. So we've got a squared equals b squared plus c squared minus 2bc cos a. So a in this case, well, is just a. B and C are the other two sides. It doesn't actually matter again which order we do them in. So 9 squared plus 8 squared, and then minus 2 times 9 times 8 times by cos A. A is going to be the angle opposite the side A. So that's going to be times cos 48. So we get, by plugging that all in the calculator, 9 squared plus 8 squared minus 2 times 9 times 8 times cos 48 gets me 48.645. And then again, what I have to do is I have to square root it. Okay, and then when I square root it, I get 6.97. So that's the length of the side A. Okay, so that's how we do the Cos rule for a missing side. Now what we're going to do is we're going to use the Cos rule for a missing angle. Okay, so the Cos rule for the missing angle is just a slightly rearranged formula given here. So cos A is equal to b squared plus c squared minus a squared, all divided by 2bc. Now, the missing angle is important here. Okay, that's the one we're trying to find. It's important that we get them the right way round. Okay, so the A is always going to be opposite the angle that we're trying to find in this case. Okay, the B and the C, again, it doesn't matter which order they're in, but the A does. Okay, so if we're given 3 sides in this case, we can work out a missing angle. That's what we're saying here. So let's go on to a couple of examples. So just going to write out the rule again. So cos A is equal to b squared plus c squared minus a squared all over 2bc. Now, in this case, we're trying to find angle P. Okay, so rather than it being cos A, it's now going to be cos P. Now, it's important, like I say, that we get these the right way around. So B and C are the numbers either side of the P. Doesn't matter which way around they are, but it does matter that you pick A correctly. Okay, A is always going to be opposite the missing angle in this case. Okay, and then times 2 times 8 times 6 on the bottom. Okay, so just to recap, we're trying to find the angle P, but we've got 3 sides given, so we can do that. So the B and the C are the sides either side of P, and the 12 is going to be the A because that is opposite the P. Okay, so just put them in the right place. So cos P is equal to, so we've got 8 squared plus 6 squared minus 12 squared, which gives me minus 44 on the top, and on the bottom 2 times 8 times 6 is 96. And if I just divide those numbers, so minus 44 divided by 96 gives me 0.458. And then to find the angle P, again, we need to do an inverse, in this case cos, of that number we've just found. Okay, just like with the sine rule, just like with other trigonometry, when we're finding a missing angle, you need to do the inverse. So shift cos of that number gives me 62. We'll do it to the nearest degree, 60.7 to 63 degrees. Okay, let's do one more example. So again, let me write out the formula for you. So cos A is equal to b squared plus c squared minus a squared all over 2bc. So A is the angle up here, that's what we're trying to find. So let's make sure that we get things in the right order. B and C are going to be the numbers either side of the A. So it's going to be 11 squared plus 8 squared. And the A is going to be opposite the angle A. So that's going to be minus 9 squared. and then all over 2 times 11 times 8. So let's work out those parts. So the top part, 11 squared plus 8 squared minus 9 squared is 104. And the bottom part is 176. So divide those two numbers. So 104 divide 176 gives me 0.591. And then to find A, you do inverse cos of 0.591. So shift cos of that number gives me, to the nearest whole degree, 54 degrees. Okay, so just to recap, this is the Cos rule. Okay, so the first rule was to find a missing side. Okay, and this is when we have two given sides and the included angle, otherwise known as a cozy corner, or we've got to find a missing angle where we're given all three sides. That's when you use the Cos rule. Okay, thanks for watching, and just check with me now to see what work you now need to do. Thanks.